Willpower is the art of saying no, no to weakness, no to distractions, no to the voice that tells you to quit. Every day in the gym is a test of control. The weights don't care about your mood. They only respond to your effort. When you stand before that barbell, it's not just metal. It's a mirror reflecting your inner state. Willpower is what helps you resist the temptation to skip the hard sets, to take the easy route, or to call it a day before your job is done. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Every time you resist the urge to give up, you strengthen your mental armor. The mind, like the muscle, grows stronger through resistance. When you choose discipline over comfort, you're building endurance not just for your workouts, but for life itself. This control over self isn't built in a day. It's earned, rep by rep, decision by decision. Every time you silence the inner excuse, you're forging a stronger version of yourself. It's easy to say yes to comfort, to ease, to rest, but the real power lies in saying no. No to the comfort zone, no to laziness, no to the shortcuts that lead nowhere. Willpower is about control, control over your emotions, your actions, and your environment. The one who can master self-control can conquer any challenge. Because when you can say no to the things that weaken you, you make room for the things that build you. In the gym, you'll face constant battles not with others, but with yourself. The last few reps of a set are not just physical, they're psychological. That burning sensation that screams stop is the same wall most people hit before they quit. But if you can push past that, if you can control that urge to stop, you unlock a level of strength most people never reach. You begin to realize that pain is temporary, but control lasts forever. Every controlled decision creates momentum. When you manage your schedule, your sleep, your diet, your training, you're not just controlling actions, you're shaping destiny. The person with willpower doesn't depend on luck. They create their own path. They don't wait for the right mood to work. They work until the mood aligns. That's why controlled consistency always beats emotional effort. Sometimes control means slowing down. It means pausing, taking a deep breath, and reminding yourself why you started. Willpower isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about staying steady even when progress feels slow. There's strength in patience, in trusting the process, in refusing to let frustration break your rhythm. The one who maintains composure under pressure always comes out stronger. In a world filled with distractions, control becomes a superpower. Every notification, every craving, every comfort around you is designed to steal your focus. But when you train your willpower, you build an unshakable focus. You start to see clearly what matters and what doesn't. The same discipline that keeps you in the gym will guide you in every other area of life, because control in one field spreads to all. Willpower is not about force, it's about direction. Anyone can go hard for a day, but the real winners are those who control their energy over weeks, months, and years. You don't let emotions drive you, you let purpose guide you. When you learn to regulate your actions with purpose, every rep becomes meaningful, every meal becomes fuel, and every moment of rest becomes recovery. That's the kind of control that builds champions. Control also means humility, understanding that you can't control everything, but you can control yourself. You can't control how heavy the weights feel, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the pace of results, but you can control the consistency of your effort. When you shift your focus from what's outside to what's within, your power multiplies. Ultimately, control is freedom. When you control your habits, your mind, and your actions, you are no longer a slave to circumstance. You no longer need motivation to move. You move because it's who you are. Willpower gives you ownership over your life. And in the gym, that means every rep, every set, every drop of sweat becomes a declaration that you are in control, and nothing can take that from you. Willpower is the invisible bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's what carries you across when everything in you wants to stop. Every person faces moments of exhaustion, self-doubt, and frustration, but those moments are what define character. Willpower doesn't shout, it whispers, keep going. It's quiet but powerful, subtle but unbreakable. When you walk into the gym tired, unmotivated, or even hurting, it's your willpower that takes over when motivation fails. That's when you learn that success isn't built on hype. It's built on persistence through silence. Many people rely on motivation to move, but motivation fades. It's emotional and temporary. Willpower, on the other hand, is built on commitment, the promise you made to yourself long after the excitement has gone. When you show up on the days you least want to, that's not inspiration driving you, that's pure discipline. Every early morning you rise, every time you push through fatigue, you're not just building muscle, you're proving to yourself that your word means something. That's the real power of will. In the gym, there will be times when the body says no, but the mind must say yes. It's a mental negotiation that happens every session. Your muscles may feel weak, your lungs may burn, but willpower is the voice that says, one more rep. It's that internal command that refuses to let your physical state dictate your destiny. The mind always gives up before the body does. That's why those who master there will often outperform those with greater physical gifts. Willpower is like a muscle. It grows with use. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. The first time you push past fatigue, it hurts. The second time, it's familiar. The third time, it becomes natural. Soon, you stop asking whether you can, you just do. That's when the gym stops being a place of struggle and becomes a training ground for mental toughness. You begin to carry that strength into every area of life, work, relationships, goals. It all becomes connected through the same power, your will. There's beauty in doing what most won't. Most people want results without resistance. They want transformation without sacrifice. But those who understand willpower know that true change only happens when you embrace the struggle. The pain, the fatigue, the frustration, they're all necessary teachers. Every time you endure, you're reshaping your character. You're learning that the hardest battles are not fought with dumbbells, but with doubt. When the results don't show right away, that's when most quit. But not you. Willpower keeps you anchored when progress slows down. It keeps you grounded when others drift away. It reminds you that consistency will always win over speed. Every rep you do today adds up, even when you can't see it yet. The strong don't chase instant gratification. They trust the process and keep their head down until the results become undeniable. Willpower also teaches patience. It reminds you that strength isn't just measured by how much you can lift, but how long you can endure. It's easy to stay strong for a week. It's hard to stay strong for a year, but that's where real transformation happens. The people who build legendary physiques and unbreakable minds aren't superhuman. They're simply consistent. Their willpower is their weapon, and they wield it daily. There are days when the gym feels like a battlefield. You walk in carrying the weight of your thoughts more than the weight of the barbell. But that's when willpower shines the brightest, when you fight through the fog of fatigue and finish strong. You don't have to win every battle to become great. You just have to refuse to surrender. That refusal, that inner no to giving up, becomes your defining strength. When you operate with willpower, you stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect environment. You just show up because you understand that the act of showing up, even imperfectly, already puts you ahead of most. The more you rely on your will instead of your feelings, the more unstoppable you become. You realize that the mind is your greatest gym equipment, and when it's trained, nothing can stand in your way. And in the end, willpower becomes your identity. It's no longer something you use, it's who you are. You become the person who doesn't back down, who doesn't quit, who doesn't need applause to keep moving. Every scar, every drop of sweat, every challenge conquered becomes proof of your inner strength. That's the true essence of willpower, the quiet, relentless, unshakable force that keeps you moving forward long after others have stopped. Willpower thrives on consistency, and consistency is built on small, daily victories. It's not about doing something once with intensity. It's about doing it every day with purpose. Every time you wake up and choose the gym over comfort, you're building layers of strength inside you. These moments seem small at first, but they're the foundation of greatness. No one becomes strong overnight. It's the accumulation of countless disciplined decisions that no one sees. Each morning, you win that battle against laziness. You're proving that your will is stronger than your excuses. Every day presents a choice, comfort or commitment, and most people choose comfort because it feels good in the moment. But the ones who become legends, they choose commitment even when it hurts. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. It's easy to lift when you feel strong, but what defines you is lifting when you're tired, when your mind is foggy, when your motivation is gone. That's when true willpower is tested, when you're running on nothing but discipline. Consistency isn't glamorous. There are no loud cheers, no instant results, no spotlight. It's repetitive, quiet, and often frustrating. But that's where transformation happens, in the repetition, in the grind. Every rep builds not only muscle but patience. Every drop of sweat teaches you the value of endurance. It's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to shape you. And the only way to grow is to show up again and again, no matter how many times you fall short. People often underestimate the power of steady effort. They think they need a massive change to see progress, but it's the small habits that make the biggest difference. That one extra set, that one cleaner meal, that 1 hour of sleep, they add up. Willpower isn't about doing something dramatic. It's about doing what's right repeatedly. The person who stays consistent will always surpass the one who goes hard for a week and quits, because consistency beats intensity when the goal is transformation. Every day you commit to your routine, you're not just training your body, you're conditioning your mind. You're programming yourself to act regardless of how you feel, and over time, this discipline becomes automatic. You no longer need to think about showing up. It becomes a part of who you are. That's the magic of willpower. It turns effort into instinct. It takes what once felt impossible and makes it your normal. When you stay consistent, you begin to earn your own respect. You stop doubting yourself because you have proof that you can stay true to your word. You no longer chase motivation from outside because you've built it within. That's the beauty of willpower-driven consistency. It teaches you to trust yourself. You become reliable, steady, and strong from the inside out. That kind of confidence can't be faked. It's earned through repetition, There will be days when progress feels invisible. You'll look in the mirror and wonder if any of it is worth it, but those are the days when consistency matters most. Willpower doesn't look for instant validation. It trusts the unseen process. It knows that the effort you put in today will show up eventually, not when you expect it, but when you've earned it. Real growth is invisible before it becomes undeniable. Consistency also builds momentum. Every disciplined action makes the next one easier. You start to realize that success isn't one massive leap, but 1,000 tiny steps, and each step forward, no matter how small, creates power. You don't have to do everything perfectly, you just have to keep moving. Because momentum is what keeps you alive when motivation dies. When you master the art of showing up, you separate yourself from almost everyone else. Most people start strong and fade fast. But you understand that slow progress is still progress. You keep showing up when others disappear. You stay when others get bored. That's how winners are made, not through talent, but through persistence that refuses to fade. At the end of the day, consistency turns willpower into a lifestyle. It stops being a struggle and starts being your natural rhythm. You no longer think about quitting because quitting isn't even an option anymore. You've trained your mind to stay the course no matter what. And that's the greatest strength of all, the unbreakable rhythm of consistency powered by pure will. Willpower is not just about starting strong. It's about finishing what you began, no matter how tough the journey gets. Many people begin with excitement, full of promises and enthusiasm, but somewhere along the way they lose that spark. They get tired, distracted, or discouraged when results don't come fast. But the ones who truly grow, who truly transform, are those who stay until the end. Finishing is not about feeling ready. It's about refusing to stop until the mission is complete. In the gym, that means finishing every rep, every set, every session, even when your body screams for rest. The hardest part of any goal isn't the beginning, it's the middle. The middle is where motivation fades, where progress slows, and where the real test begins. That's where willpower shines the brightest. It's what keeps you moving when excitement turns into exhaustion. The middle is where most people quit because they stop seeing visible results. But if you hold on just a little longer, if you keep pushing through that mental fog, the results always come. Patience and persistence will take you where excitement never can. Finishing strong is a mindset. It's telling yourself that quitting isn't even on the table. You didn't come this far to stop halfway. Every workout you complete, every drop of sweat you shed, every minute you endure, they're all proof that you have the strength to finish. When you reach that last rep, that final stretch, that's where your growth truly begins. Because those last moments are when you push beyond comfort into transformation. Willpower doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It makes progress in any condition. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll barely make it through the warm-up. But what matters is that you finish what you started. Consistency beats perfection every time. It's not about flawless performance. It's about relentless commitment. Even if today isn't your best day, showing up and finishing sends a message to your mind, I don't quit. And that message shapes your identity. Every champion was once an ordinary person who refused to stop. That's the secret. They weren't born different. They simply made the decision to finish what others left undone. Every small completion, whether it's finishing a tough workout or sticking to your plan for one more day, builds confidence. That confidence fuels your willpower, creating a cycle of discipline that becomes unstoppable. The more you finish, the stronger your belief becomes that you can finish, no matter what stands in your way. Sometimes the finish line isn't visible, and that's what makes it hard. You can't always see progress day by day, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. The process is working even when it feels invisible. Every rep, every sacrifice, every ounce of effort is stacking up, silently shaping your future. Willpower keeps you walking when the path is dark, because it trusts the process, even when you can't see the destination. There will be setbacks. You'll face injury, fatigue, disappointment, maybe even failure. But willpower doesn't crumble under pressure, it adapts. It finds another way. Finishing doesn't always mean winning easily. Sometimes it means crawling to the end with everything you have left. But even that crawl counts, because finishing with struggle still puts you ahead of those who quit without trying again. Willpower teaches resilience. It trains your mind to bounce back after every challenge. When you finish strong despite difficulties, you build emotional armor. You stop fearing obstacles because you've proven to yourself that nothing can truly stop you. You've felt pain and kept going. You've been tired and kept moving. That resilience becomes a permanent part of your character, something no one can take away. Every time you finish something, you silence doubt. You replace "I can't" with "I did." You teach your mind that it's capable of doing hard things. That lesson extends far beyond the gym. It shapes how you handle life. Because the same willpower that gets you through your final rep will get you through life's toughest battles. You start to see challenges as opportunities to finish stronger, not reasons to stop. And in the end, finishing strong is how you define your legacy. Not by how you started, not by how many times you stumbled, but by how you refused to quit. It's about showing that your spirit is stronger than your struggle. Because when you finish what you began, every set, every session, every goal, you prove that your willpower isn't just a tool. It's your identity, and that identity will carry you through every mountain life places before you. True willpower is forged in moments of complete resistance, when every part of your body and mind tells you to stop, but you decide to move forward anyway. It's not just about pushing through a workout. It's about pushing through life's obstacles with the same intensity and focus. Every time you overcome that inner voice of doubt, you grow stronger. It becomes less about physical strength and more about mental dominance. The body follows where the mind leads, and when your mind is disciplined, your body can achieve what once seemed impossible. Willpower thrives in struggle. It's easy to act when conditions are perfect, but real power emerges when conditions are far from ideal. Rain, fatigue, distraction, boredom, these are all opportunities to test your resolve. Those who excel don't wait for comfort, they embrace discomfort. Every challenging session is a rehearsal for life. The more you train your will against resistance, the more resilient and unstoppable you become. Every choice you make builds or erodes your willpower. Choosing to stay in bed instead of training weakens it. Choosing to push through even when tired strengthens it. These choices accumulate over time, shaping not just your body, but your character. True strength isn't measured by muscles alone. It's measured by your ability to control impulses and act with purpose, even when every instinct screams otherwise. The greatest athletes, the strongest individuals, and the most disciplined people didn't achieve success through motivation alone. They relied on willpower, the quiet force that keeps you moving when you don't feel like it. It's the difference between showing up consistently and giving up after the first obstacle. Willpower is cultivated by action, not intention. Every rep, every drop of sweat, Every moment you refuse to quit is a brick in the foundation of your mental fortitude. Pain and discomfort are allies in building willpower. When your muscles burn, your lungs burn, or your heart races beyond comfort, you're not breaking yourself, you're strengthening your mind. Pain becomes a teacher, showing you how far you can push and how much more you're capable of than you realized. Every moment of struggle is a lesson in endurance, patience, and self-control. The stronger your will, the more you can endure without surrendering. Willpower also means consistency over time. It's not about a single heroic effort. It's about showing up day after day, even when you see no immediate results. The compounding effect of consistent effort is what produces extraordinary transformation. Every session completed, every rep executed, and every disciplined decision builds momentum. That momentum makes future challenges easier to face, creating a cycle of strength that grows exponentially. When fatigue, doubt, or fear arises, willpower is the anchor that keeps you grounded. It reminds you why you started, what you're fighting for, and what you've already overcome. It prevents temporary discomfort from dictating long-term results. The people who cultivate willpower learn to ride the wave of struggle rather than be swept away by it. They understand that persistence is more powerful than intensity, and endurance is more valuable than fleeting motivation. Willpower transforms obstacles into opportunities. Every setback becomes a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Every time you overcome fatigue, distraction, or discomfort, you expand the boundaries of what you believe is possible. You learn that limits are often illusions and that your potential is far greater than your doubts suggest. Strength grows not in ease but in resistance. The mind trained by willpower becomes unshakable. When challenges arise, you face them with focus and determination rather than panic or hesitation. Your energy is directed towards solutions instead of complaints. This mental discipline spills into all areas of life: work, relationships, and personal goals. Willpower isn't just for the gym, it's the foundation of success in every pursuit. In the end, willpower defines who you are more than any workout or physical achievement ever could. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. It shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and ensures that no matter how difficult the journey, you refuse to quit. Every rep, every challenge, and every moment of resistance becomes a testament to your inner strength. When you master willpower, you don't just change your body, you change your life. So, the next time your body screams to stop, or your mind whispers excuses, remember this: the stronger your will, the stronger your results. Every time you push through, you're building more than muscle, you're building an unshakable mind. Be relentless, be disciplined, and let your willpower define your legacy. Show the world and yourself that you cannot be stopped. Every champion starts where you are right now, facing doubt, fatigue, and the temptation to quit. Your body is capable of more than you think, and your mind is the key to unlocking that power. Today, it's not about luck or talent. It's about discipline, focus, and relentless effort. The grind doesn't stop, and neither should you. Imagine the results waiting for you on the other side of pain and resistance. While most give up when it gets hard, the strongest push through, rep after rep, day after day. Your future self will thank you for every choice you make now. Stop overthinking, stop hesitating, and commit to the grind that separates the average from the extraordinary. Embrace discomfort because it is the gateway to true growth. Every time you push your body beyond what feels easy, you trigger adaptation. Your muscles, tendons, and cardiovascular system all respond by becoming stronger. The human body is designed to improve under stress, but it only adapts when challenged. Sitting in comfort will never lead to transformation, but enduring controlled discomfort teaches your body to exceed previous limits. Discomfort is also a mental teacher. When your muscles burn, your lungs burn, or your heart races faster than usual, your mind interprets these sensations as signals to quit. But every moment you choose to continue rewires your brain, strengthening willpower and mental resilience. Your mind begins to understand that what feels uncomfortable is not dangerous. It is growth in progress. The first time you embrace discomfort, it feels foreign. The ache in your muscles and the fatigue in your body scream at you to stop. But each time you endure, you learn that your limits are not fixed. Your strength, endurance, and mental fortitude all expand. Discomfort becomes less threatening and more familiar, turning into a signal that you are progressing rather than suffering. Discomfort also separates the average from the exceptional. Most people quit when it starts to hurt, when motivation fades, or when fatigue sets in. The ones who transform their bodies and minds are those who push through the pain, showing up even when it's uncomfortable. This is how champions are made, not by avoiding struggle, but by confronting it repeatedly. There's a scientific reason to embrace discomfort in training. Exercise causes tears in your muscles and stresses your energy systems. These challenges force your body to repair and adapt, creating stronger, more efficient muscles, tendons, and cardiovascular endurance. Every moment of discomfort is the body signaling that adaptation is occurring and that strength is being built. Discomfort also teaches patience. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and the body takes time to respond to consistent effort. The burning sensations, soreness, and fatigue are reminders that progress is being made, even if you don't see it immediately. Learning to persist through these sensations trains not only the body, but also your ability to endure delayed results. Every rep that feels too hard, every set that pushes your limits, every workout that leaves you drained is a small victory over your previous self. Embracing discomfort allows you to measure growth not by comfort, but by the effort required to overcome challenge. This mindset shift transforms how you approach training and life. Discomfort also builds confidence. Each time you push through what once felt unbearable, your mind internalizes the lesson that you are capable of more than you thought. This confidence transcends the gym, influencing your work, your relationships, and your approach to other challenges in life. Embracing discomfort is a form of self-mastery. It teaches you to resist immediate gratification and to act with purpose even when it's difficult. The ability to endure and continue despite pain or fatigue is one of the most valuable skills you can cultivate for long-term success. Finally, discomfort becomes a sign of progress, not a deterrent. The sweat, the ache, and the fatigue are proof that you are growing stronger. The more you embrace discomfort, the more your body and mind evolve. This principle applies to fitness, mindset, and life. Growth is never comfortable, and true transformation only comes to those willing to endure and push through. Your mind controls your body more than you realize, and understanding this is the key to unlocking your true potential. The brain often interprets fatigue, pain, or discomfort as signals of danger, even when the body is physically capable of continuing. This is why so many people stop before they truly need to. When you learn to command your mind to push past these signals, you can achieve levels of performance that once seemed impossible. Every time your brain tells you to quit, it is testing your willpower. That burning sensation in your muscles, The tightness in your chest or the heaviness in your legs is not your limit. It's a challenge. Your mind tries to convince you that you are done so you will conserve energy, but your body is capable of much more than your mind thinks. By consciously choosing to continue, you reprogram your mind to trust your strength rather than fear discomfort. The connection between mind and body is a two-way street. Just as your brain influences your physical performance, physical activity also strengthens your mental resilience. Scientific studies show that intense exercise stimulates neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections, improving focus, discipline, and decision-making. Every rep you push through strengthens not just muscles, but neural pathways of determination and perseverance. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in controlling your body through your mind. Athletes and scientists alike have shown that mentally rehearsing movements, visualizing success, and focusing on goals can enhance performance. When you see yourself completing every rep, pushing past fatigue, and conquering discomfort, your brain aligns your body to make it possible. Your mental focus becomes a driving force behind physical achievement. Mind control also allows you to regulate effort efficiently. Your perception of effort dictates how hard you push. By training your mind to ignore minor distractions, discomfort, or self-doubt, you extend your capacity for endurance and strength. What once felt impossible becomes achievable when the mind believes it can overcome, proving that mental strength amplifies physical performance. Breathing and focus are critical in mastering your mind over body. Conscious control of your breath reduces fatigue, lowers stress, and improves oxygen delivery to muscles. When your mind stays calm and focused during high-intensity training, your body performs more efficiently. Mindfulness and attention to the task at hand allow you to push further than if you let the brain wander into excuses and self-doubt. Discipline is born from controlling your mind. The more you refuse to obey the voice that says stop, the stronger your mental resilience becomes. Over time, this builds a habitual response where your mind automatically supports your goals rather than sabotaging them. Your brain begins to expect effort, endure discomfort, and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Every time you command your body to continue despite fatigue, your confidence grows. You start to believe that your limits are far beyond what you previously thought. That belief translates into every area of life. Challenges at work, personal goals, and daily obstacles all become more manageable because your mind has been trained to push forward when others give up. Your mind is also your greatest source of motivation and accountability. External motivation fades quickly, but mental control allows you to sustain effort consistently. The stronger your mental discipline, the less you rely on fleeting emotions, and the more you act out of conviction. This internal control is what separates average performers from those who achieve extraordinary results. Ultimately, mastering the mind. Body connection is about realizing that the body is capable of much more than the brain initially allows. By training your mind to overcome fatigue, ignore doubt, and focus on the goal, you unlock new levels of strength, endurance, and determination. The more you practice this control, the more unstoppable you become, proving that the mind is truly the most powerful muscle you can train. Consistency over time is the secret ingredient to lasting transformation. One intense workout or a single week of perfect discipline will not create the body or mind that you desire. True change comes from showing up day after day, even when motivation fades and excuses appear. Each session compounds on the last, building momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. Consistency teaches your body what to expect. Muscles grow stronger, energy systems adapt, and your cardiovascular efficiency improves when exposed to regular, repeated stress. Scientific studies show that habitual exercise produces long-term adaptations in muscle fibers, tendons, and even mitochondria, improving both strength and endurance. Each workout is not isolated, it's a building block in the larger structure of your fitness. Consistency also rewires the brain. Daily effort strengthens neural pathways associated with self-discipline, focus, and resilience. When you train consistently, the act of showing up becomes automatic. The mind begins to anticipate and support effort rather than resist it, making persistence easier over time. Habits are formed through repetition, and consistency is the engine behind habit formation. One of the greatest advantages of consistency is the compounding effect. A small effort repeated daily grows into remarkable results. Just as compound interest transforms small savings into wealth over time, consistent training transforms your body and mind into something far stronger than occasional bursts of effort ever could. The key is not intensity alone, but steady, persistent action. Consistency also builds confidence. When you see yourself showing up every day, completing each session, and adhering to your plan, your belief in your own discipline strengthens. Confidence feeds consistency, and consistency reinforces confidence in a positive cycle. The longer you maintain this pattern, the more unshakable your self-discipline becomes. Even on days when motivation is absent, consistency carries you forward. The strongest individuals don't rely solely on feeling inspired, they rely on commitment. Showing up when you don't feel like it trains both the mind and body to perform under resistance. These moments of disciplined action are often the most transformative. Consistency also reduces the risk of regression. Sporadic effort may yield temporary results, but without regular practice, gains are quickly lost. The human body responds to regular stimulus. Without it, adaptations reverse. Maintaining a consistent schedule ensures progress is preserved and continuously improved upon. Over time, consistency becomes a habit that shapes your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who never quits, someone who follows through, someone committed to excellence. This self-perception strengthens your willpower and creates a lifestyle where effort, discipline, and growth are the norm rather than the exception. Consistency also enhances recovery. The body adapts not only to stress, but also to patterns of rest and nutrition. When training is consistent, the body becomes more efficient at repairing itself, reducing fatigue and improving overall performance. Each consistent session teaches your body how to respond, recover, and improve. Ultimately, consistency is the foundation of all progress. It transforms raw effort into mastery, shapes habits into identity, and compounds small actions into extraordinary results. By committing to consistent action, you create a life where strength, discipline, and resilience are not occasional achievements, but permanent characteristics of who you are. Progressive overload is the key principle behind building strength, endurance, and muscle. Your body adapts to stress, but only when that stress increases over time. Performing the same routine repeatedly without challenge will maintain your current state, but it will not lead to growth. To get stronger, faster, and more resilient, you must gradually push beyond what you did yesterday. This principle applies to every aspect of training. Lifting heavier weights, increasing repetitions, running farther, or reducing rest between sets all create progressive stress that forces the body to adapt. Each incremental increase, no matter how small, signals to your muscles, tendons, and cardiovascular system that they must become stronger to meet new demands. Progressive overload also trains your nervous system. Coordinating muscles for heavier lifts or faster movements requires your brain to recruit more motor units and improve communication between nerves and muscles. Over time, this not only increases strength but also enhances coordination, balance, and athletic performance. Your mind becomes sharper because your body is being challenged. Recovery plays a crucial role in progressive overload. Growth occurs not during the workout itself, but in the recovery phase when muscles repair and adapt to stress. Proper rest, nutrition, and sleep allow the body to rebuild stronger than before. Each session, when followed by effective recovery, compounds the effects of progressive overload. Tracking progress is essential for overload to be effective. Without recording your lifts, repetitions, or workout times, it's easy to plateau unknowingly. Consistently measuring performance ensures that you are challenging yourself and continually advancing, rather than repeating the same effort without improvement. Progressive overload teaches patience and persistence. Gains do not happen overnight, and the body needs time to adapt safely to increased stress. Incremental improvements may seem small daily, but over weeks and months, they accumulate into remarkable transformations. The key is steady, continuous progression rather than sudden extremes. The principle of overload also applies mentally. Each time you push yourself past what feels comfortable, you prove to yourself that limits are flexible. Your confidence grows as you consistently demonstrate the ability to exceed previous thresholds, reinforcing both mental and physical resilience. Adaptation from overload is specific to the type of stress applied. Strength training increases muscle size and force production. Endurance work improves stamina and cardiovascular capacity, and flexibility training enhances mobility. By gradually increasing the intensity of the chosen stressor, you ensure that your body evolves in targeted ways. Progressive overload is a form of self-discipline. It requires consistent evaluation, honesty about performance, and the courage to push beyond what is comfortable. Each increment, whether adding weight, reps, or speed, is a conscious decision to refuse complacency and commit to growth. Ultimately, embracing progressive overload transforms your approach to fitness. You no longer train blindly, you train with purpose, strategy, and awareness. Growth becomes inevitable because your body and mind are constantly challenged, adapting, and evolving to meet higher standards, shaping a stronger, more capable version of yourself. The science of strength is built on understanding how the body responds to stress and adapts over time. Every time you challenge your muscles, cardiovascular system, or nervous system, you create micro damage or stress that forces adaptation. This adaptation is the foundation of increased strength, endurance, and overall fitness. Your body is a living system, constantly responding to the demands you place on it. When you lift weights, your muscle fibers undergo tiny tears. The body repairs these fibers, making them thicker and stronger than before. This process is called hypertrophy, and it is how lean muscle mass increases. Each session that pushes your limits contributes to this microscopic rebuilding, gradually transforming your body into a more powerful machine. Cardiovascular strength works on a similar principle. When you run, cycle, or perform high-intensity workouts, your heart and lungs are forced to work harder than usual. Over time, your heart pumps more efficiently. Your lungs increase oxygen delivery, and your endurance improves. Scientific studies confirm that progressive cardiovascular challenges strengthen the entire circulatory system. The nervous system is equally important in building strength. Coordinating movements, maintaining balance, and recruiting the right muscle fibers requires efficient neural communication. Each time you push yourself in the gym, your brain and spinal cord adapt, improving motor control and making movements more efficient. Strength is as much about neural adaptation as it is about muscle growth. Nutrition fuels the science of strength. Muscles require amino acids, energy, and micronutrients to repair and grow. Without proper nutrition, your body cannot fully adapt to the stress of training. Science shows that combining consistent training with proper protein intake, hydration, and balanced nutrients accelerates recovery and optimizes gains. Rest is another critical factor. Growth does not occur during exercise, it occurs during recovery. Sleep, rest days, and active recovery allow the body to repair damaged tissues, replenish energy stores, and restore hormonal balance. Without sufficient recovery, your body cannot capitalize on the stress of training, and performance plateaus. Consistency is the backbone of scientific strength. Adaptation requires repeated stress over time. Sporadic workouts may produce short-term results, but long-term strength and endurance come from disciplined, repeated effort. The body adapts gradually, and consistency ensures that improvements are maintained and compounded. The principle of overload complements the science of strength. Muscles, cardiovascular systems, and neural pathways must be challenged beyond their current capabilities. Incremental increases in weight, intensity, or volume force the body to adapt. Without this challenge, growth is limited and progress stalls. Tracking performance is essential to leverage the science of strength. Monitoring lifts, repetitions, distances, or times allows you to quantify progress and ensure that each session challenges the body more than the last. Feedback drives improvement and prevents stagnation, keeping you on the path to peak performance. Ultimately, the science of strength shows that the human body is capable of far more than most people believe. With intentional stress, proper recovery, adequate nutrition, and consistent effort, you can build a body that is not only stronger, but more resilient and efficient. Every workout is a practical application of this science, and every effort compounds to create extraordinary results.